Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brant with CPC Bodybuilding, the home of men's classic physique. Today, I've got a preview of the Xtreme Pro in Tijuana, Mexico. My special guest today is Mexican IFBB Pro Olympian, fresh off a win at the Orlando Pro, Osmar Alanis. Osmar, thanks for joining the show, man.
Hey, Rand, happy to be here and actually happy to have won the Orlando Pro because we have a tough lineup this week on the Tijuana Pro. And I was planning on doing this show, but thanks God I won the Orlando Pro. So really happy to won that show. And we are ready to have a good show this weekend here in Mexico, in Tijuana.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a great show. Lots of big names from all around South America and Central America joining this show, and a couple of American guys too. So this will be really exciting, guys. And I've got Osmar here to preview this show with me and make some predictions. So before we start the preview, I want to make sure to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And then also want to give a huge shout out to Osmar for taking the time out of his day to preview this show with me. Make sure you guys go give him a follow here on Instagram. It's just his name is his tag. It's Osmar Alanis, and then you can use his Instagram to find his coaching and find all of his links right here in his bio. So make sure you guys drop him a follow and support him. He's an awesome classic bodybuilder who is making his Olympia debut this year. Do not miss out. So in just about 12 weeks, we're going to see him take the stage for the first time at the Mr. Olympia. So without further ado, we will get into the Xtreme Pro preview. So this show is going to be this upcoming Sunday, July 28th in Tijuana, Mexico, like I mentioned. Now, the show will begin, prejudging and finals are set for 6 p.m., and this is Pacific time. So for those of you on the East Coast, that's 9 p.m. your time. This will be 6 p.m. Pacific time. Prejudging and finals are all in one show. So this will just be a one-show format. And we're going to get into this lineup. It's a really, really good lineup. Lots of the best pros from not only Mexico, we've got guys from Colombia, Brazil, United States, you name it. So we'll start out here. We've got Gabriel Aguirre from Mexico, Cremo Amari from Germany, Alfredo Anaya from Mexico, Yashar Anbari also from Mexico, David Buccelli from Colombia, Fernando Bueno from Mexico, BJ Carswell from the United States, Camilo Diaz of Colombia, Diego Galindo. He's listed as Colombia here. That's where he's from, but he trains out of Brazil. So that's something to keep in mind. You may see him listed as Brazil on some lineup cards. We've got Alan Mariano, who he's a Mexican guy, but lives in the United States. We've got Mike Herrera Jr. He is also Mexican, though he's listed as USA here on the lineup card. Junior Jaworski of Brazil, who's fresh off a win last weekend in his home country. We've got Lavinho as well from Brazil, Jorge Hubert from Mexico, and Phil Zuniga from the United States. So that is our full classic physique lineup. Really exciting to see all of these guys take the same stage. And we will start out with a Mexican IFBB pro, Gabriel Aguirre. So Gabriel is one of the best guys out of Mexico, in my opinion. We've seen him place very highly at some really tough shows. He did this show last year, actually, and placed fourth. Osmar, what are some of Gabriel's biggest strengths?
I mean, Gabriel is one of the old men in the bodybuilding in Mexico. I remember when I started my journey competing in classic physique, he was the guy like winning all the overalls in the amateur division. So he have an incredible work ethic. He's gonna be conditioned. He's gonna be built. I think he need a little more size on his legs, but uh, if he put all together, he's actually my dark horse in this show.
Yeah, you make a really good point, man. The shape is good, the condition's always there, and he very well could fight his way into that first call out. He's done very, very well, especially in shows in Mexico. He was second at the Breon Ansley Mexican Grand
Yeah,
Battle Pro
second.
last year, too. So this guy has lots of potential. He could do very well here. So that is Gabriel Aguirre out of
He will
Mexico.
do it. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he will have a really nice place here.
Our next competitor is Cremo Amari out of Germany. And I do believe he's based out of Dubai, though his home country is Germany. But Cremo finished second at the Euro Muscle Show, only to top 10 in the world, Vahid Badpe. These are some recent updates. These were 5 days ago, so these were from 10 days out. You can tell he's in great shape. What are your thoughts on
It
Cremo?
is. Man, I don't know. He have to do a long trip from Dubai to Mexico, so a lot of things can change from that photos to this day and to the next weekend at Tijuana. He have a really good shape. I think he needs more size on the legs. He have really big arms, long arms and long legs. So that kind of shape, it's hard to really full of muscle. So, but he have a really good shape.
Yeah, shape is definitely a strength of his. I'll be intrigued to see what he looks like next to some of these guys who I know are going to be extremely, extremely conditioned.
Do you
So
know
I
his
think
his 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 height? His height?
I'm not sure how tall he is, truthfully, but
He looks tall, right?
to me, he looks like he's probably somewhere around. If I had to guess, 5'10", maybe 5'11". That's my
Yes.
guess. But again, I don't know for certain. But he, we could probably guess actually from this right next to Vahid, and I don't think Vahid is a tall guy, and they're about the same height. It looks like in this photo, so um, it will be intriguing to see him stand next to some of these other guys who I know are going to be extremely conditioned, like Vahid was in this show.
We actually have three athletes already qualified for the 2024 Mr. Olympia in this show. And how many Olympians? Like five Olympians in this show?
So we definitely have. So Camilo is an Olympian who hasn't qualified yet, and then I don't know if we have anybody else who.
Diego, Diego,
Yeah,
Diego
Diego. Yeah,
qualified.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
Diego.
and the other three that qualified this year.
Yeah, so the other three guys who qualified, we have the two Brazilian guys. We got Junior Jaworski, Lavinho, and then we've got BJ Carswell out of the United States.
The guy who won at the Atlanta Pro, right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
King something.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have lots of Olympians. I think Cremo will hold his own. I think he'll be very, very good here. You'll have to stay tuned for the predictions later to see where I have him, but I think he'll be in the mix. So next up, we have another Mexican IFBB pro. This is Alfredo Anaya. So in his last appearance at the Columbia Pro, he finished in 7th place. So what's your opinion of Alfredo's physique?
Alfredo has a very good structure, but I think he needs to take some time to build muscle and gain size because he just won his pro card last year and he have done like 4 or 5 shows. So I think he have a really good structure, but he needs to put muscle on it.
Yeah, I would say the one thing that stands out to me is the upper lower symmetry needs to be a little bit more even. I think
Yes.
probably the legs need to come up a little bit more because he has great lats, a very small waist, and in classic, if you have big lats, you need big quads to match that as
Yes,
well.
yes. He looks really good when you see him like alone, but when you see him in comparisons, he looks a little small.
Yeah, but he has great structure, like you mentioned. The condition looks good. He has clean lines, and
Yeah, he has great structure.
yeah, and I really hope to see him do well here. I could see him somewhere kind of in the middle of the pack here. That's where I would.
His back pose, I think it's one of his strengths. His glutes and his hams are really good. If you can find maybe some back pose, it's
Yeah. So this is from Show Day. I haven't looked at this yet, but he'll probably transition into a back double bicep too. I mean, that front double really showcases his width very nicely too, I think. We'll get the side chest. We'll get the back double here in a second.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, Alfredo was 7th in the Columbia Pro last week, and really that top 6 was very, very solid. I think a lot better than most people really realize. So here's his back double bicep. The glutes are in.
Yeah, always have shredded glutes.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot for him, man. I really think so. I think probably a
He
little
just
bit
needs to
more
put
arms.
muscle on it, more
Yeah.
muscle on it, and that's it.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
thickness.
Yeah. So that is Alfredo Anaya from Mexico. Next up, we've got another guy who is based out of Mexico. This is Yashar Ambari. So he's from somewhere in the Middle East. I want to say he's
He's
from,
from Iran, I think.
yeah, yeah. So I think his nickname is the Persian Dragon, I believe. So,
Yeah,
uh,
he lives in Tijuana actually.
yeah.
He
So
always
he's,
comes with insane conditioning. Like he used to do like men's physique and classic physique. I did a men's physique show last year at the Mexico Grand Battle, like my last dance in men's physique, and he was peeled, like peeled. But I think he looks better in men's physique than he looks in classic, actually.
yeah, I do think you make a good point. Like if you look at some of these shots, he has a great upper body, lots of width. I would say he just
His
needs
back,
he needs more time to add the legs.
the legs, yeah, but his back, it's crazy.
Hmm.
It's wide and thick.
Yeah, but you can see here he has lots of width, just very very wide. Takes up a lot of space with that upper body. So that is
He
yeah,
just needs to match his lower and his upper body.
yeah, yeah. So that is Yashar Ambari. Next up, we've got David Buccelli from Colombia. So David was last. He last appeared at the Serpro Cup, and these are updates from today. Actually, he just posted these. And when I look at David, I think his biggest strength is probably uh, the wide lats. He has good quads, very
Good
vascular.
quads. Yeah, in the shoulders and in the pecs, he's really vascular.
Good vacuum too. I like that ab and thigh on him as well. It's a good vacuum. Good for his structure. He's another one of those guys who like he controls the condition. He has good posing as well. He just needs to build more size as time progresses to really,
Yeah,
hang with these
just a
top
matter of time and muscle maturity actually too.
guys. Hmm. Yeah, because
Because
David's a younger guy.
he need more deep lines everywhere, like in the legs. So that's actually muscle maturity and just matter of time and work.
Yeah, but he's got a great frame. Just very classic looking. So that is David Buccelli. Back. All right, so yeah, we got Fernando Bueno. So we're taking a look at his most recent update. So this is, I think, the most recent thing we got. It's not very clear, but we got some black and white. So this is him from 3 weeks out. Now, you've actually competed with this guy before, Osmar. So what are your thoughts
Yes,
on his physique?
he have a lot of muscle. I don't know if he have been struggling to make the classic weight that he don't look as hard as he really is on stage. But he have a lot of muscle. If you see him in person, he's like a lot bigger than me. But on the stage, he don't look that big. I don't know why. I don't know if he really struggled with the weight cap, and he just can't like being in shape and full at the stage time.
Yeah,
But
he looks really
just
dense.
look at that big legs. He's really big like days before the show and a month before the show, but at the day he's never like in that shape. I don't know why, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's a coaching problem, a peak problem. I don't know, man.
Yeah, because he looks really dense. The side shots are good for him. He's got really
He's
good
really
arms.
big and wide.
Let's see what else we can find.
If he can nail the peak, he will look amazing. Because
Yeah, I think really it's just like the fullness isn't there to me.
yeah, isn't there because he struggled with the weight maybe,
Yeah.
and they don't have time to fill up.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, just looking at this from this, like, so this is an update a week out. The cuts in the quads are pretty deep. It's really hard to tell what the condition is there. I would be intrigued to see what the condition looks like, a week or two out, because sometimes, there are guys who try to hold on to the fullness too long for prep, and you know, they don't really push hard enough, and it, shows in the condition. So it could be that as well, but it's pure speculation at this point. Either way, he looks good, got a lot of density, and we'll see him again in his home country of Mexico. So next up, we've got BJ Carswell, the Atlanta Pro champion this year. So here are the comparison photos from that Atlanta show. BJ's there, center left. And just from what you've seen of him, Osmar, and some of these shots as well, what do you think some of his strengths are?
Deep lines and beautiful lines. He have a really good separation on the quads, on the back. He have a good posing. He's a strong guy in this show. Just,
Yeah. Dude, his shape is just crazy to see in person.
yes,
So I was there, watching the show from the front row. And the thing about BJ that these pictures definitely don't do him any justice. But like, I mean, you look at this shot right here, like his shape is just so good from the front. And there's nothing missing there, man. Like huge quads, deep lines, like you said,
small
huge
waist.
arms, small waist,
Yes,
big lats, like great, absolutely great from the front. Plus, he needs a lot of credit, like for what he's done in the past 2 years. His last appearance before this show, he was 15th at the Legion Pro in 2022, and then went and
at
just
the
won the.
Legion.
Yeah,
That's work. That's work.
yeah, and his back has come up so much. This guy has worked incredibly hard to get where he is. We could find a back double bicep, like the what he's done to improve his back is crazy, and it's a little tough to see here, but like this is night and day from what it used to be. This guy is really, really used his time wisely to improve, and
I'm pretty sure you
I
have him in your top five, right?
oh, he's in
Or
my
what you
top
saying?
five. We'll see where we
Yeah.
put him a little later. You guys will have to stay tuned to see where he lands in my top five, but he's definitely in there. So, BJ Carswell from the United States there. Next up, we have one of the best Colombian bodybuilders out there. This is Camilo Diaz from his fourth place finish at the Chicago Pro last week. He competed at the 2022 Olympia. So, Camilo is one of those guys who comes in super peeled, grainy, nasty, gnarly muscle. You can see here, Osmar, what stands out to you?
He looked amazing last week at the Chicago Pro. He have really big quads. I think he just need like a little more thickness and wide on his lower back. Uh, as you can see in the back shot, his back open too high. He needs a little more size on the lower back to match his big legs because he have really big legs. So the size of the legs makes even look smaller his lower back.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is where his lat insertions are. He just has higher lat insertions naturally.
Yes,
So
that's
when your lats
genetics.
insert kind of high, you have to really do more work with the teres, I think, and target your volume a little bit more towards the teres. But I mean, Camilo still like this guy is just crazy
Yeah,
dense,
he looked
crazy big.
crazy.
And super nice guy too. Like he's a great
He,
dude.
he improved a lot from last year because I think he did the same show we did in Mexico in the Mexico Grand Battle in Vallarta, the Brion Athlete, right? Or not? Or
I don't
I'm
think he did that show, but he did. So I know he did the it was one of the Columbia shows, and he didn't do very well. I don't
yeah,
even
he
think he was
didn't.
first call out.
He improved a lot for this year,
Yeah, yeah. This was,
and he
in my
picked
opinion, his best look this year.
and he picked tough shows like the Chicago Pro and the Tijuana Pro. It's a tough show. Like they are giving like 18,000 prize money. That's like a lot because all of the pro shows now are giving like 4,000 for the first place, and Gabriel Velasco, the promoter of the Tijuana Pro, is doing an incredible job. He takes care of all the athletes on all the matters, and he's giving 10,000 for the first place. So that's a really good prize money.
Oh yeah, it's great prize money, which is why you see a lot of these top guys jumping in, even though
Yes.
they have an Olympia
Yeah,
qualification.
actually, when I was at Orlando, I was talking with Andre, the Brazilian guy who took the second place. He told me like, "Oh, I think Ramon is doing the Tijuana Pro," and I think like, "Oh man, I need to win this show." Because if Ramon is doing the Tijuana Pro, but he's not. It was just
That
an
would be crazy,
speculation.
man.
Yeah.
So that is Camilo Diaz out of Colombia. Next up, we have another Colombian guy who is training out of Brazil. So this is Diego Galindo. And a bit of a disappointing showing last week at
Yes,
the
man.
Brazil Pro. And this is actually from earlier in the year. This footage is from
In
the
the
Arnold
Arnold
Classic.
from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But
So
last
Diego is.
weekend, I think. Oh, sorry, man.
Oh no, you go ahead, bro.
I think last weekend Diego put the size over the conditioning and shape. And actually, one of his strengths are the classic shape, the classic lines, and the conditioning. So if he fixes that strategy for this show, he can win this show. I know, I know. He needs to put on condition and classic lines, not size. Do you think he went on size last weekend?
I agree with you completely, man. So I think so. I was looking at this and I was trying to figure out what went wrong. So if we look at this footage, this is fundamentally different from what we just saw. If you look at the full package, now
Yes.
it's fuller, but it's
Not
definitely not as
not deep
sharp.
lines. No.
Yeah, the lines are not as deep and just not as clear cut. Now, I don't think this is a bad look, but it's not his best look. Now, when we look at photos from just a couple of days before, if you look at this was a day out. The lines look like they're there. So I'm just wondering if it was something messed up with the peak. That's kind of what I'm wondering because it looks like his condition is good.
I think they decide to grow and they grow so fast this year that he lose a lot of his classic shape and his classic lines. I mean,
Yeah, I hope that's not the case.
size is not everything in the classic physique division. As you can
True.
see, Diego is a lot bigger than last year, but he needs to be his own self
Yeah, I'm hoping that the look that he brings is a little bit closer to what he brought at this
at
Arnold
the Olymp.
Classic Brazil earlier in the year. I thought that look was just incredible, man. Like
He
this
switched
look is really
coaches.
good.
I think he switched coaches last year before the Olympia. I think he won the show last year with one coach, and then he did the Olympia with another coach. And in that Olympia in 2022 Olympia, he looked a lot bigger, and he started going to that line that with more size than condition.
Yeah. But when we look at this, and I do agree. I think last year his look was definitely more towards the condition side of things and not pushing the fullness quite as hard. But if he brings this look that he brought to the
Yes,
Arnold Classic Brazil, this
for
could win the
sure.
show.
Yes.
This look
And,
beat Livigno.
Yes, yeah, for sure, man. And that's a thing that they can fix from one week to another week without problem.
Yeah, I think, man, if we see this look from Diego, he wins the show. Like it's not
Yes,
even
he's
a
taking the
question.
show.
But that's a big
Yes,
if, a big if.
yes, yes,
So that's the ultimate question: is what do we think we're going to see from Diego? I will say I think he's going to be right there. I think they learned from the placing, and they're probably going to go more for something like this.
yes.
Now
And
it'll be
he
interesting to
should do
see if
it.
they can nail it though.
It's not a lot of time, but he can do it. He can do it. I know.
Yeah,
Maybe he wasn't uh, at his best last week. Maybe he was saving his best for this week, but I don't know, man.
yeah, we'll find out. So that's
We'll find
Diego
out.
Galindo from Colombia. Next up, we've got Alan Mariano, also from Mexico, who's living in the United States. So Alan has competed in quite a few shows. He did the Toronto Pro earlier this year. This was when you actually competed with him. So this was last year at the Breon Ansley show in Mexico in Puerto Vallarta, I believe. So this
Yes,
is a good look, man. I think this is a really nice look for Alan at this show.
he actually took like sixth place, right? Yes,
Hmm.
he won me. He's
Yeah,
always
and he
he's always he's always so conditioned, and he have a really good muscle maturity, like a lot.
Yeah, very, very clean, etched in lines. He's got lots of
Yes,
width up top. You can't see it in this shot, but if we pull up another shot, I want to find a shot where you can see just how wide this guy is. He's like, this is a front lat spread, like just very broad shoulders. I think that's a big strength for him too.
yes. In his stories, he have a good shot. Just look at the stories.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any news stories. He tagged me in one yesterday. I didn't see any
Yes,
today.
he have one.
Yeah,
Oh no,
it must
he
have been
did.
from yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yes,
But I mean, I think Allen will definitely bring a better look at this show. Now, I do know this is his last show of the year, and then he's planning on heading into the off season. But we do know we'll see a couple of things. We'll see really good
look at
condition. And we'll see great detail.
great condition in that photos.
Yep. So that is Alan Mariano. Next up, we got a pro debut. So this is Mike Herrera Jr. from Mexico. So he won the Mexico Super Show to win his pro card actually this year. So this guy is a brand new IFBB pro and has really good classic structure. You can see from these photos.
He have great posing too. He's a really nice guy. He's gonna enjoy his pro debut there
Yeah, what better place to make your pro debut than, in your home
in your
country. This
country.
is this is going
Yes,
to be really exciting for Mike. And I think he'll do, pretty decent. Like I could see this guy like definitely top 10. Just structurally
yes,
he's very
yes.
gifted.
Top 10. Yes, he have a solid. All his shots are solid. He don't have like a really weak shot. So that's a good point for him.
Yeah, he's very balanced. I would say
Yes,
I think the condition could probably be better than where
yes.
it was, but
But
I
you know
trust
what?
that he's working on that.
He did a show before that show, and he was sharper in that show in the USA Fit Games actually
Oh,
held
okay.
in Dallas. So this was like a back-to-back show at the Mexico Super Show, and he was more conditioned in the first show that he did. So
Oh,
if
okay.
he bring that condition to this show, he's gonna be easily in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm excited to see his pro debut. So that is Mike Herrera Jr. Next up, we have Junior Jaworski, fresh off a win in his home country of Brazil. So, Osmar, what stands out when you see Junior Jaworski?
He's massive, man. He's massive. He have a lot of wide and thickness everywhere, like everywhere.
The
He maybe
big man.
he if his waist were I was a little smaller, he will look even bigger.
Yeah, you make a good point there too, man. It's like he has a wider waist, but like if you look at his lats, his lats are about as big as you will see out there. And that really,
Yes.
really creates the illusion of,
Yes.
that classic structure because while he might not have the smallest waist, he has really big lats, he's really big quads, big shoulders, and I think he's improved tremendously since last year.
It's all about the illusion. It's all about the illusion.
Exactly. That's what classic's all about. And this guy, I think he'll be the biggest guy in this lineup without question. This guy is absolutely massive. So what I want to see is him standing next to Lavinho. That's the matchup that I want to see.
I think Livigno. Have you seen Livigno in person?
No, I haven't seen Lavinho. I would love to. I would love to go to South America sometime and see him in person, but
He looks great in photos, but I don't know, man. I don't trust in Instagram 100%.
Speaking of Lavinho, that's our next competitor. So, man, it's so crazy when you look at this guy's structure. I mean, it could be different in person, but like this guy's already won a pro show. He won the Sao Paulo show earlier this year to qualify. So he's already going to the Olympia.
In
Structurally, this
front,
guy is very gifted.
in front double, it's like game over.
Has no waste at all.
He can improve his chest a little fuller, maybe because on the front double look a little flat, and actually there his chest look a little flat. But that's one thing to say, and that's it. He's great.
Yeah, this guy just looks crazy, man. Like if I had to like just have somebody like draw out what I would want classic to look like this structure is it. But the one thing that I will say with Lavinho is I don't think we've seen lights out condition from him yet. And he might need that to win the show. Even though he has the best structure here, I think he needs to bring a level of condition and potentially posing in order to win this show. Now, I think he can do it, but it's really tough to say what we're going to see on show day. Just given, if you've looked at previous shows, the condition hasn't been quite where it needs to be from the
That's
back.
that, yes, man. That's what I mean. Have you seen him in person? Because I saw the show that he won earlier this year, the live stream in HD, and I was like, okay, he's a freak. Yes, he is, but his condition, I don't know, man. It's so different to compete in South America than compete in North America. Even though the judges are from Brazil, but I don't know what they are looking for. That's why I always compete in USA because they want almost like the same, but not really all want the same.
Yeah, this is the shot that I want to see Lavinho really, really nail because from a posing perspective, he needs to throw his thumbs back more to get more out of his
Yes.
bicep peaks. And
And
then,
he's like this a little bit.
yeah, I think he needs to
His
open up a
elbows.
little. But if the condition's better and he works on the posing, this guy's like top 10 in the world without a doubt.
And actually, that lights on that shot are not good.
Yeah.
The lights
I
in that
think I
show
think the
are not
condition's
good.
there in the lower body, but I do think, there still might be a little bit more fullness that needs to come with that. Maybe it's a peaking thing, but
But
you
if
know,
Diego nailed the peak and the condition, Diego, it's over him.
yeah. So that is Livingstone Lavinho. Next up, we've got Jorge Hubert. So this was the last appearance that I could find of him, at least in terms of photos. So this was at the NPC,
Last
or
year, Tijuana.
yeah, this was
Is it?
Tijuana 2 years
Yes.
ago or 3 years ago. So he was 10th at this show actually. Now I think what his biggest strength is size. This is a big guy,
Yes, size. But
and
I think the name of the game in this show is gonna be condition.
yeah, it has to be when you have so many good structures and so many guys with
Yes.
lots of muscle.
Yes.
But I will say, if we're talking condition, so we'll look at recent updates. This was from 2 weeks out. I think
He
the
looks
fullness is
full.
there.
Yeah, he's full. But you don't have to be full 2 weeks out. Actually, not that full.
The condition is the question for me. I wonder if
He
he'll
have a
be in
lot of
good
muscle.
shape.
He have a lot
Yeah,
of muscle.
yeah. But that is Jorge Hubert. And our last competitor is Phil Zuniga from the United States. So this was his last appearance, which was at the Tanji Johnson Masters Pro. And when I look at him, I think, he's very well put together. I think his strengths are probably his delts, his arms. He's got a good chest. I'll be interested to see what kind of package he brings to Mexico, because I think this might be his first time competing here. So that is Phil Zuniga, and that is our full classic physique lineup, guys. So now for the fun part, Osmar and I are going to give our top 5 predictions. So
Okay, first, who's your dark horse?
my
Because
dark horse. Okay.
I was your dark horse at Orlando, and I
Yeah,
won.
you were my dark horse, and you won the show, right?
Yes, I want to know who's your dark horse.
All right, all right. So dark horse here that I don't have in my top 5. So we'll go. My dark horse here is probably, I'm gonna go Camilo Diaz is my dark horse here.
Camilo Diaz.
Yeah, who is yours?
Gabriel.
Yeah, I could see that, man. He's really good, really underrated,
Yes,
really
he
good
is. And
shape.
he's so discreet and he's so quiet. He like, I mean, like, work first and talk later.
Mhm. Yeah, he's really good, man. I could see him doing very, very well here too. I uh I just think I'm gonna pick Camilo as my dark horse just because I think he's got the hot hand right now. He is just coming off his best look of the year, and
Yes,
I
yes,
think
for
he's
sure.
gonna
He looks
ride that
great.
momentum here. He could do very well and potentially be in that top 5. I don't have him in my top 5 here just because this lineup is so stacked, but Camilo could be in there for certain. So
I have him. I have him in my top 5 actually.
oh, this is
Camilo.
fun. So I guess we'll start there. So with our top 5, Osmar, since you're the guest, would you like to go first, or would you like me to start?
Be my guest. You first.
All right. Thank you, good sir. I'll go ahead and get it rolling. So I'm going to start out in my top 5. So I'm going to go with Diego Galindo in my 5th place spot if I could find him. This guy could win the show. I just don't know what to expect with the final look and the peaking process. I love this guy's physique. Incredibly classic. He's going to be the best poser in this lineup.
Yes,
And he's crazy, crazy complete, man. I can't say enough how much I think this guy embodies classic. But I just don't know what we're going to see as the final look. If we see what we saw earlier this year, this guy wins the show. If we saw what we saw last week, I think he could be even as low as 6th or 7th in this show. But with that said, I think there will be a little bit of correction from last week. I don't know if there's enough time to really bring a
that's the
fundamentally
thing.
different package. So I'm going to go Diego in 5th place. In fourth place, I'm going to go with Cremo Amari from Germany. I think Cremo really made a statement by coming out and finishing second at the Euro Muscle Show because that lineup was crazy deep. A lot of the best guys in Europe were in that show, and he took them out. So I've got Cremo in fourth place. In third place, I've actually got Junior Jaworski. Going to be the biggest guy there, one of the most conditioned, and I think Junior will outsize a lot of these guys and outcondition a lot of them. He doesn't have the best structure, but he checks all of the other boxes. So I'm going to go Junior Jaworski in third. In second place, I'm actually going to go with Livigno. I think Livigno could do some serious damage in this lineup, especially if conditions there and his posing is improved. Even without all of that, I know we're going to get really good condition. If we get great condition, he wins the show. I think we're going to get really good condition and probably the same posing. So with that said, I think him versus Junior is going to be really interesting just to see how they compare size-wise and condition-wise. If he gets close condition-wise, I think he beats Junior, which is what I think we see here. Now, my winner is actually, I'm going to go with the American guy, BJ
I know who
Carson.
your winner is, but that's because you saw him in person. That's because you saw him in person. That's why I ask you, like, have you ever seen living in person? When you see us or see them in person, it's a quite different thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I definitely have some recency bias here, but I'm going to tell you why I am picking BJ. I think BJ is the best combination here and the most sure in terms of what we're going to get. I know exactly what we're going to get with BJ. We're going to get good condition, we're going to get balance, a complete physique, crisp lines, really good structure. Like I think he ticks all the boxes, and a lot of these guys are probably going to be picking people like Livigno, like Junior,
That's a really
Diego.
good point because as we discussed early, Livigno it's an if, Diego it's a really big if. So you are sure what he's bringing to this show, so it's a good shot.
Yeah, and I know he's still been working super hard even after winning that Atlanta Pro. I just think BJ is the most sure and guaranteed of what we're going to get out of all of these guys. I think BJ is going to take this one home. So, American guy winning it in Mexico. So, Osmar, who is in your top 5?
Okay, I will start with my dark horse in fifth place, Gabriel. He. I know he is like in the wake up, like so close. So I know he have the muscle. He needs to improve his posing a lot because he's like a little shy. He just need to relax and enjoy the stage. But if he improve his posing and he's in the condition that he used to, he will have at the top 5 and maybe higher.
Very exciting. Gabriel Aguirre there in 5th place.
Then in fourth place, I have Camilo.
Camilo Diaz.
Yes, Camilo Diaz. He's massive, and he have solid shots. All his shots are solid.
Very well
Then,
rounded.
yeah, very well. In third place, I have Junior because of his he have the freak factor. And have the freak factor in classic physique. It's not easy to find. So he's my top 3 guy, Junior. We have the same third place, right? You have Junior in third
Yeah, I had
place
Junior in 3rd
too.
place.
Yeah, and I have Libinho in second place too. I'm risky on Libinho and the ifs that we discussed, but I have him in second place. He have a really good front shots, but on the back shots, I think Diego is gonna beat him. So I
All
have
right.
Diego in first place.
Oh, you
It's a
got
big
Diego.
it's a big if, but I take the risk.
Diego there in first place.
Diego,
Very
nah.
exciting.
If you can find a video of the last year Tijuana, bro,
We got some photos.
no, but yes, look at that. Look at that waist. That's the classic line that I was talking about. He lost a little bit of that waist and the deep lines. He had really really deep lines on that show. I don't know if he can fix that from past weekend, but I'm going with him for the win.
Okay. All right. So Diego Galindo winning it for Osmar there in Tijuana. So those are our top 5 picks, guys. Going to be a really tight show. Again, make sure you guys tune in for all the updates here on Instagram on Sunday. Follow me, CPC Bodybuilding. I'll be posting all the updates here. But more importantly, make sure you guys go give Osmar a follow. You can find him here on Instagram. It's Osmar Alanis, which is just his name. And one of the best guys out of Mexico right now, as well as Latin America, just won the Orlando Pro, going to the Olympia for the first time this year. Make sure you guys support him by giving him a follow. Check out his links. And he also coaches too. So inquire about coaching if you guys are watching this and you might be looking for a coach as well. So without further ado, Osmar, the floor is yours, man. Do you want to give any shout outs to your sponsors, any of the athletes, anyone back home?
I just want to thank to all my friends, all the brands that support me, that help me to make my dreams come true, and I'm really happy for the growth that we are having here in Mexico in the classic physique division, but not only here. We are doing well in all Latin America. So wait for us on the Mr. Olympia.
Yes, sir. So that is going to do it for the Xtreme Pro preview today. I want to thank you all for watching CPC Bodybuilding, the best channel in men's classic physique. Make sure you guys
Yes, it
subscribe,
is.
like, comment, and share as well. And that's going to do it. I'm Brant, and that's Osmar signing out. Make sure you guys keep it classic. We'll see you later.
Keep it classy.